The final battle didn't happen where anyone expected it to happen. The aliens brought 3,000 ships to attack Earth, but when they arrived, they found something impossible. Earth's orbital space was empty, except for a single small ship. Captain Kim Tae-ho was waiting for them in the UES Defiance, the same ship that had made first contact with aliens 3 months ago. "This is Captain Kim Tae-ho of Earth," he broadcast to the massive alien fleet. "We've been expecting you." War Minister Raxthul appeared on his communication screen looking confused and angry. "Where are your defenses? Where are your ships?" "Oh, our ships are busy," Captain Kim Tae-ho said calmly. "They're at your homeworlds." Admiral Jung Bo-ram was leading the largest fleet in human history, but she wasn't defending Earth. She was attacking the alien capital worlds directly. 200 human ships and 500 rebel ships from freed slave species were striking at the heart of the Galactic Council. "All ships, this is Admiral Jung," she announced over the fleet communication system. "Today we don't just defend our homes. Today we end slavery forever." The alien capital world of Kethmore had never been attacked in 50,000 years. Its defenses were designed to stop rebellions by slaves, not invasions by free peoples with space fleets. "Impossible," said High Counselor Verax as human ships appeared in his system. "How did they get past our outer defenses?" "Sir," reported his tactical officer, "our outer defenses are gone. The slave rebellions have taken control of every system between here and human space." Dr. Yu Sung-ho was broadcasting from a transmitter more powerful than anything the galaxy had ever seen. His message was going out to every planet, every ship, and every communication device in known space. "People of the galaxy," he said, "for too long you have been told that slavery is natural, that some species are born to serve others, that the strong have the right to own the weak." Images appeared on screens across the galaxy. Pictures from the alien databases showing the truth about the Galactic Council. Pictures of slave farms where sentient beings were bred like animals. Pictures of entire species being worked to death. Pictures of planets stripped bare to feed the luxury of the ruling classes. "This is what the Galactic Council really is," Dr. Yu Seong-ho continued. "Not a government, not a peacekeeping force, a machine that eats species and turns them into profit." On the slave world of Nexar 7th, Nexari workers stopped their forced labor and looked up at the screens. For the first time in 2,000 years, they saw proof of what they had always suspected. Their masters were not gods. They were just bullies with advanced technology. On the mining world of Thylos Prime, Thylorian slaves saw images of their home world before the conquest. Green forests, blue oceans, and free people living in cities built by their own hands. But today, Dr. Yu Seong-ho said, that changes. Today, humanity and our allies declare that no sentient being will ever again be property. No species will bow to bullies. No world will pay tribute to tyrants. The broadcast was more than just information. It was a weapon. Across the galaxy, species that had been slaves for thousands of years remembered what freedom looked like. Captain Quan Tae-young was on the alien world of Altair, coordinating with Thylorian rebels who had seized control of their planet. But they weren't just freeing themselves. They were building ships to free others. "Captain," said the Thylorian leader, "we have finished converting our mining equipment into weapons. We are ready to help attack the capital worlds." "Are you sure?" Captain Quan Tae-young asked. "Your people have been slaves for 3,000 years. You could just enjoy being free." The Thylorian leader's eyes glowed with determination. "Captain, humans showed us that freedom is not just about being free yourself. It's about making sure no one else suffers what we suffered." Back at Earth, War Minister Raxthul was demanding answers from Captain Kim Tae-ho. "Where are your people?" Raxthul shouted. "We came to destroy your world. Where is your resistance?" "Our resistance isn't here," Captain Kim Tae-ho said. "Our resistance is at your worlds, freeing your slaves and destroying your empire." "Impossible. You have only a few hundred ships." "We had a few hundred ships," Captain Kim Tae-ho corrected. "But every species we freed gave us more ships. Every slave world we liberated became our ally. You taught us something very important, War Minister." "What?" When you oppress people for thousands of years, they really want to fight back. They just needed someone to show them how. On Kethmore, Admiral Jung Boram was leading her fleet through the alien capital's defenses, but it wasn't really a battle. The alien ships were designed to intimidate and control, not to fight against people who refused to be intimidated. "Admiral," reported her tactical officer, "the alien defense fleet is retreating to the planet's surface. They're abandoning their ships." "Let them go," Admiral Jung Boram said. "We're not here to conquer. We're here to liberate." Her ships landed on Kethmore and opened their doors. But instead of human soldiers coming out, it was former slaves of every species. Thylorians with mining equipment converted to weapons. Nexari with farming tools turned into arms. Vortani with industrial machines modified for war. "People of Kethmore," Admiral Jung Boram announced over planetary communication systems, "you are free. The Galactic Council is finished. Slavery is over. You can go home." High Counselor Vrex couldn't believe what he was seeing. "They're not conquering us, they're just leaving us alone." "Sir," said his aide, "what should we do?" Vrex looked around at his luxury palace, built with the labor of 1 billion slaves over thousands of years. Without slaves to maintain it, to grow food, to make things, the palace was just an empty building. "I don't know," he said quietly. "We've never had to take care of ourselves before." Commander Oh Sung-min was coordinating the liberation of the Nexus Authority worlds. Unlike the military conquest the aliens expected, this was something completely different. "All species are free to leave," he announced to the populations of the conquered worlds. "Ships will be provided, supplies will be given. Anyone who wants to go home to their original worlds can go." The response was overwhelming. Millions of beings who had been slaves for generations were finally free to return to worlds they had only heard about in stories, but many didn't want to leave. They wanted to help. "Human Commander," said a Nexari leader, "our people want to join your fleet. We want to help free other worlds." "This isn't our war anymore," Commander Oh Sung-min said. "This is everyone's war. Everyone who believes people should be free." Strategic analyst Park Ye-jin was coordinating the largest logistical operation in galactic history. Former slave worlds needed food, medicine, and technology to survive as free peoples. Refugee ships needed guidance to find their home worlds. And rebel fleets needed coordination to make sure they didn't accidentally fight each other. "Ma'am," reported her assistant, "we're getting requests for help from over 200 star systems." "What kind of help?" "Everything. Some want medical, supplies. Some want teachers to help them remember their own cultures. Some want engineers to help rebuild their worlds. And some want military advisors to help them defend their new freedom." "Send help to all of them," Park Ye-jin said. "That's why we fought this war." Dr. Lim Junho was studying the collapse of the Galactic Council's government. What he found was both fascinating and sad. "President Yoon," he reported, "the alien government is just falling apart. They don't know how to function without slave labor." "Are they dangerous?" "Not really. Most of them are just sitting in their palaces wondering who's going to bring them food now that all the slaves are free. A few are trying to restart the old system, but their own people won't support them." "What about their military?" "Most of their soldiers were slaves too. When we freed the slave worlds, we freed their armies. The few remaining alien military units are mostly just trying to get home to their families." Fleet Admiral Baek So-young received the final report from Admiral Jung Boram. "Mission accomplished," Jung Boram reported. "The Galactic Council capital worlds are liberated. The government has surrendered, and the last slave camps have been opened." "Casualties?" "Surprisingly light, ma'am. When you're fighting to free people instead of conquer them, most people help instead of resist." President Yoon Da-eun addressed the galaxy from the same office where she had received the alien ultimatum 4 months ago. But now she wasn't speaking just to Earth. She was speaking to billions of newly free beings across hundreds of worlds. "People of the galaxy," she said, "the war is over. Slavery is ended. Every sentient being is free to live their own life, make their own choices, and build their own future." The response came from across the galaxy. Messages of thanks, messages of hope, and messages asking for help building a new kind of galactic civilization. But freedom, President Yoon Da-un continued, is not something you win once and then forget about. Freedom requires constant vigilance. It requires people who are willing to stand up to bullies no matter how powerful they seem. Captain Kim Tae-ho was back on the Defiance, but now he had a new mission. Instead of exploring space for Earth, he was helping to establish the Terran Protection Fleet, a combined force of humans and former slaves dedicated to making sure slavery never returned to the galaxy. "Captain," said his communications officer, "we're receiving a distress call from..." Intelligence officer Seo Ji-hoon was deep in alien space, far from any human worlds. His small stealth ship was hidden behind a dead moon, watching something incredible happen. Alien slaves were rebelling. The Thylorians, a species that had been mining slaves for 3,000 years, were breaking their chains. The Nexari, who had been farming slaves for 2,000 years, were burning their fields and fighting their masters. All across the galaxy, species that had been forgotten were remembering how to be free. "Earth Control, this is Seo Ji-hoon," he whispered into his communication device. "You need to hear this." The signal took hours to reach Earth, but when it did, it changed everything. President Yoon Da-un listened to the recording in her office. The sounds of alien slaves fighting for freedom, inspired by humanity's refusal to surrender, filled the room. "How many species are we talking about?" she asked. Dr. Han Subin had been studying the reports. "At least 40 species across 12 star systems, maybe more. They're all rebelling at the same time. Because of us? Because of what we showed them. For 50,000 years, every species that met the Galactic Council either surrendered immediately or was crushed quickly. We're the first species to fight back and win. We showed them it was possible." Admiral Song Woo-jin was studying tactical reports from across human space. The aliens had brought massive reinforcements. Over 2,000 ships were now surrounding human worlds. But something strange was happening. "Ma'am," he reported to President Yoon Da-un, "the alien ships are having to split up. They're sending forces to deal with all these slave rebellions." "How many ships are they sending?" "About half their fleet. Maybe more. They're panicking because this has never happened before." Strategic analyst Park Ye-jin was in the war room, coordinating with rebel species across the galaxy. Her job had changed from planning Earth's defense to planning a galaxy-wide revolution. "The Thylorians are asking for weapons," she reported. "The Nexari want technical support, and there's a species called the Vortani, who want to know how humans learn to fight so effectively." "What do we tell them?" asked Admiral Song Woo-jin. "We tell them the truth. We fight dirty. We use everything as a weapon, and we never give up." Captain Kwon Tae-young was leading a secret mission to the Galactic Council's core worlds. Instead of defending human space, his job was to attack the aliens where they felt safest. His ship, the Liberator, was loaded with weapons, supplies, and something more dangerous than any bomb: human ideas about freedom. "Captain," said his navigation officer, "we're approaching the Altair system. Intelligence reports say there are about 50 million Thylorian slaves working the mines there." "Perfect," said Captain Kwon Tae-young. "Let's go set them free." The Altair system had been peaceful for 3,000 years. The ruling class of aliens lived in luxury, while Thylorian slaves did all the work. The aliens never expected anyone to attack their homeworlds. They especially didn't expect humans. Captain Kwon Tae-young didn't attack the alien military bases. Instead, he went directly to the slave camps. His ship landed in the middle of the largest mining complex and opened its doors. "Attention Thylorian workers," he announced over loudspeakers. "We are humans from Earth. We're here to help you fight for your freedom." The Thylorians had never seen humans before, but they had heard the stories. These were the people who said no to the Galactic Council. These were the people who fought impossible battles and won. "What do you want us to do?" asked the Thylorian mine supervisor, a thin alien with sad eyes. "Fight back," said Captain Kwon Tae-young. "Take your mining equipment and use it as weapons. Take your knowledge of this place and use it against your masters. Take your anger at 3,000 years of slavery and use it to win your freedom. The rebellion spread like fire through the Altair system. Within hours, every mine, every factory, and every farm was under Thylorian control. The alien rulers, who had never worked a day in their lives, had no idea how to run their own worlds without slaves. Similar scenes were playing out across the galaxy. Human ships were appearing at slave worlds everywhere, bringing weapons, knowledge, and most importantly, hope. War Minister Raxthul of the Kethmori Dominion was in emergency session with the Galactic Council. The holographic meeting room was filled with panicked alien leaders from across the galaxy. "This is impossible," said Councillor Zenth of the Vraxian Empire. "How can primitive humans be coordinating rebellions across the entire galaxy?" "They're not just fighting us," said Raxthul. "They're teaching others how to fight us. Every species they encounter learns their tactics." "What tactics?" demanded High Administrator Quell of the Nexus Authority. "They have no tactics. They fight like wild animals." "That's exactly the problem," said Raxthul. "For 50,000 years, we've fought civilized species who followed the rules of war. Humans don't follow any rules. They use asteroids as weapons. They turn their own ships into bombs. They make friends with our slaves and teach them to rebel." Dr. Yu Xiang-ho was on Earth, working on humanity's most secret project. While the galaxy was fighting, he and his team were preparing humanity's final weapon, the truth. "Admiral Bayek," he reported over secure communication. "We've finished analyzing the alien databases. We know everything about how the Galactic Council really works. Tell me." "It's worse than we thought. The Council isn't just enslaving species, they're farming them. They take tribute workers and breed them like animals. When a species gets too small to be useful, they wipe them out completely and move on to the next one." "How many species have they destroyed?" "Thousands, maybe tens of thousands, and they've been doing it for hundreds of thousands of years." Admiral Bayek So Young felt sick. "We need to tell everyone." "That's the plan, ma'am. We're going to broadcast this information to every species in the galaxy. Let them see what the Council really is." Commander Oh Sung-min was back at Kepler 442, now reinforced with ships from across human space. His small victory had inspired every human settlement to fight harder. "Sir," reported his communications officer, "we're getting messages from rebel species all over the galaxy. They want to coordinate attacks with us." "What kind of attacks?" "Everything, sir. The Thylorians want to hit alien supply lines. The Nexari want to attack food production worlds. The Vortani want to target alien communication networks. They're all asking for human advisors to help them fight." Commander Oh Sung-min smiled. "Send teams to all of them. But tell our people to remember, we're not trying to conquer the galaxy. We're trying to free it." Fleet Admiral Bayek So Young was coordinating the largest military operation in human history. But it wasn't just a human operation anymore. It was a galactic liberation army. "Status report," she requested from her flagship. "Admiral, we have human forces operating in 37 star systems. We're coordinating with rebel groups from 18 different species, and we're winning." "Casualties?" "Light, ma'am. When you're fighting to free slaves instead of conquer territory, everyone helps you. The locals know their worlds better than the aliens do." Captain Kim Tae-ho was still monitoring alien communications near their main fleet. What he heard made him excited and worried at the same time. "Earth Control, this is Captain Kim. The aliens are in full panic mode. They're pulling ships from all over the galaxy to defend their core worlds." "How many ships?" asked Admiral Bayek So Young. "All of them, ma'am. They're abandoning their outer territories and concentrating everything around their home systems. It looks like they're planning one final massive attack on Earth." President Yoon Da-eun received the report in her office. Outside her window, she could see people preparing for battle. But they weren't scared anymore. They were determined. "How long do we have?" she asked. "Maybe a week," reported Admiral Song. "Wu Jin, they're bringing everything they have, over 3,000 ships. And how many do we have?" "About 200 human ships, ma'am. But we also have rebel forces throughout the galaxy keeping alien reinforcements busy." President Yoon Da-eun thought about this. 3,000 alien ships against 200 human ships. The math was still terrible. But the math had been terrible at Kepler 442 too, and humans had won that battle. Send a message to every human. Settlement, she ordered. Tell them the aliens are coming for Earth with everything they have. Ask them if they want to come home and help defend our world. The response was immediate and overwhelming. Human ships started arriving from across the galaxy, not just military ships but civilian ships too. Miners, farmers, explorers, scientists, everyone was coming home to help defend Earth. But they weren't coming home to hide behind Earth's defenses. They were coming home to launch the greatest offensive in human history. Ma'am, reported Admiral Beck So Young, our people have a message for you. What's the message? They don't want to just defend Earth, they want to end this war. They want to destroy the Galactic Council completely and free every slave in the galaxy. President Yoon Da-un looked out at the ships gathering around Earth. Ships filled with humans who had refused to bow down to bullies. Ships filled with people who would rather die fighting than live as slaves. Then that's what we'll do, she said. Across the galaxy, the word spread. Humans weren't just fighting for survival anymore. They were fighting to destroy a system of slavery that had existed for hundreds. The first battle happened at Kepler 442, a star system with 3 human colonies. Commander Oh Sung-min was there with only 8 human warships to defend against 47 alien vessels. The math was simple and terrible. All ships. This is Commander Oh, he said over the radio. Remember, we don't need to win, we just need to make them pay for every inch. The alien ships moved in perfect formation just like they had done for 50,000 years. They flew in straight lines, their weapons charged, their shields glowing. It was beautiful and deadly. But the humans didn't line up to meet them. Instead, they scattered in all directions. What are they doing? Asked Commander Vextal on his flagship. Why don't they form battle lines? Perhaps they are fleeing, said his tactical officer. No, said Vextal, watching the human ships move in crazy patterns. They're doing something else. Commander Oh, Sung-min's ship, the Determined, flew directly toward the asteroid belt around Kepler 442. The aliens followed, thinking he was trying to hide. Instead, he started shooting the asteroids. Not shooting at the aliens, shooting at the asteroids themselves. What is he doing? Vextal demanded. His science officer figured it out first. Sir, he's turning the asteroids into projectiles. He's shooting them toward our ships. Hundreds of rocks, some as big as buildings, started flying toward the alien fleet. The aliens had shields that could stop energy weapons and missiles, but they weren't designed to stop entire asteroids moving at incredible speeds. Evasive maneuvers, Vextal ordered. But the alien ships were built for fighting in space, not for dodging rocks. 3 alien ships were smashed by asteroids before they could get out of the way. That was when the rest of the human ships attacked. While the aliens were busy dodging rocks, the human ships came at them from unexpected directions. They didn't use normal weapons. Instead, they used mining charges, construction explosives, and even their own ships as weapons. Lieutenant Park Ye-jin flew her fighter directly at an alien cruiser. At the last second, she ejected in her escape pod and let her ship crash into the alien vessel. The explosion took out both ships. This is madness, shouted Vextal. They're destroying their own ships. Sir, said his tactical officer, we've lost 12 ships. They've lost 3. That was impossible. The aliens had better technology, bigger ships, and more weapons, but somehow the humans were winning. Major Nam Hae-young was leading the ground defense of Kepler 442b, the main colony planet. When alien troops tried to land, they expected to fight human soldiers with normal weapons. Instead, they found something they had never seen before. The humans had dug tunnels under their cities. When the aliens landed, they found empty buildings. Then the humans started attacking from underground, from above, and from directions that made no sense. Where are they? Asked the alien ground commander, as his troops were picked off one by invisible enemies. The humans used the planet itself as a weapon. They caused landslides to bury alien troops. They poisoned water sources. They even trained the local animals to attack anything that smelled like aliens. This isn't how warfare works, the alien commander complained to his superiors. There are rules. There are proper tactics. These humans fight like like animals. Back in space, Commander Vextal was having similar problems. Every time he tried to use proper space battle tactics, the humans did something unexpected. When he tried to form a battle line, the humans scattered and attacked from all sides. When he tried to surround human ships, they flew directly toward his own vessels and exploded. When he tried to use long-range weapons, the humans got close and used short-range weapons he had never seen before. "Sir," reported his communication officer, "we're getting strange signals from the human ships." "What kind of signals?" "They're laughing, sir, and singing, and making jokes about our tactics." This was new. In 50,000 years of galactic warfare, no enemy had ever laughed during battle. They screamed, they begged, they cried, but they never laughed. "Put me through to their commander," Vextal ordered. Commander Oh Sung-min appeared on screen. His uniform was torn, his face was dirty, and he was smiling. "Having fun yet?" Oh Sung-min asked. "This is not proper warfare," Vextal said. "You're supposed to form battle lines. You're supposed to have organized tactics." "Says who?" "Says everyone. This is how space battles are fought." Oh Sung-min laughed. "Well, nobody told us the rules, so we're making up our own." Engineer Kang Mi-young was on the human ship Resilient, working frantically to repair damage from the battle. But she wasn't just fixing things, she was improving them. "Captain," she called to Captain Cho Minwoo, "I've figured out how to make their own weapons work for us." "What do you mean?" "I've been studying the alien energy blasts that hit our ship. Their weapons are very advanced, but they're also very predictable. I can modify our shields to absorb their energy and turn it into power for our own weapons." This was something the aliens had never seen. Usually when they shot at enemy ships, the ships either got destroyed or retreated. They didn't steal the energy from the weapons and use it to shoot back. Captain Cho Minwoo smiled. "Do it." Strategic analyst Park Ye-jin was on Earth, coordinating the defense of the home system. She was watching data from the Kepler 442 battle and learning important things about how aliens fought. "Admiral Bayek," she reported, "the aliens are very good at traditional space warfare, but they have no experience with creative tactics." "What do you mean?" "They expect us to fight like they do. When we do something different, they don't know how to respond. They're like chess players who have only ever played one game, and we're playing checkers on their chessboard." "Admiral," Baek So-young nodded. "What about their weaknesses?" "Their ships are powerful but specialized. Their battle cruisers can't do ground support. Their troop transports can't fight other ships, and their commanders seem to panic when things don't go according to plan." "Good. Send this information to all our forces. Tell them to keep being unpredictable." Dr. Shin Dong-hyuk had been studying alien technology during the battle. His team had captured several alien weapons and was learning how they worked. "The good news," he told Admiral Song Woo-jin, "is that their weapons are designed to fight specific types of targets. The bad news is that they're very good at it. So we need to make sure we're not the type of targets they expect." "Exactly. Their anti-ship weapons are perfect for destroying large military vessels. But they're not good against small, fast targets. Their anti-personnel weapons are great against organized troops, but not against guerrilla fighters." Communications officer Choi Min-soo was intercepting alien battle communications. What he heard surprised him. "Admiral," he reported to Admiral Song Woo-jin, "the aliens are confused. They keep asking each other why we're not following standard battle procedures." "What kind of procedures?" "Well, they expect us to challenge them to formal combat. They expect us to fight fair. They expect us to surrender when we start losing. When we don't do any of those things, they don't know what to do." The battle at Kepler 442 lasted for 18 hours. When it was over, the humans had lost 5 ships. The aliens had lost 22 ships. Commander Vextal stared at his tactical display in disbelief. His fleet had superior technology, greater numbers, and thousands of years of experience. But somehow these primitive humans had defeated him. "Sir," said his communication officer, "we're receiving a transmission from the human colony." "Put it on screen." Commander Oh Sung-min appeared again. His ship was badly damaged, but he was still smiling. "Commander Vextal, this is our territory. You're not welcome here. Leave now, or we'll destroy the rest of your ships too." "This is impossible," Vextal said. "You can't have defeated us. Your technology is primitive. Your ships are smaller. Your weapons are weaker." "Maybe," said Oh Sung-min. "But we're meaner." The alien fleet retreated from Kepler 442. For the first time in 50,000 years, the Galactic Council had lost a battle to a species they were trying to conquer. News of the victory spread throughout human space at light speed. Every human, colony, every space station, every ship heard the same message. The aliens could be beaten. But the war was just beginning. Commander Vextal sent a message back to the Galactic Council headquarters. His report was short and worried. "The humans are not like other species. They do not fight like other species. They do not think like other species. We underestimated them. We need more ships." The Council's response was immediate. 500 more ships were dispatched to human space. This time they would not make the mistake of treating humans like a normal species. But across human space, 8 billion people had heard about the victory at Kepler 442. They had learned that aliens could bleed. They had learned that superior technology didn't always win, and they had learned that when humans fought together, they could accomplish impossible things. Fleet Admiral Bayek So-young received reports from every human settlement. The reports all said the same thing. "Send us more aliens to fight. We're just getting started." Captain Kim Tae-ho, still monitoring the alien fleet, detected massive reinforcements approaching human space. The aliens were bringing everything they had. "Sir," said Communications Officer Choi Min-soo, "should we warn Earth about the reinforcements?" Captain Kim Tae-ho smiled. "Yes, but don't tell them to be careful. Tell them to get ready. The aliens are about to." Captain Jang Hai-wan stood on the bridge of the patrol ship Guardian, watching something that made no sense. Through her ship's cameras, she could see the Titan mining station. But it didn't look like a mining station anymore. It looked like a fortress, ma'am, said her navigation officer. "Are those weapons?" Jang Hai-wan looked closer. The miners had taken their huge drilling machines and pointed them outward toward space. They had welded metal plates around the station to make armor. Even the big machines they used to move asteroids were now pointing out like giant cannons. "Get me the station commander," she said. The screen showed Kim Yeon-soo, who used to run the mining operations, but she wasn't wearing her normal work clothes. She was wearing some kind of battle gear made from mining equipment. "Captain Jang," Kim Yeon-soo said. "Glad to see you made it here safely." "Commander Kim, what have you done to the station?" "We got ready for war," Kim Yeon-soo said simply. "The aliens want to take our families, so we're going to show them what happens when they mess with human families." "But you're miners, not soldiers." Kim Yeon-soo smiled. It wasn't a nice smile. "Ma'am, we drill through solid rock every day. We move asteroids that weigh millions of tons. We work in space where one small mistake means death. You think we can't figure out how to fight aliens?" Jang Hai-wan looked around at her bridge crew. They all seemed as surprised as she was, but they also looked proud. "What about the other stations? See for yourself." Kim Yeon-soo sent data to Jang Hai-wan's ship. It showed all the mining stations, all the research bases, and all the colonies around Jupiter. Every single one had been turned into a weapons platform. "How did you do this so fast?" Jang Hai-wan asked. "Ma'am, when someone threatens to take away your children, you work very fast." Back on Earth, Dr. Lim Jun-ho was in his laboratory studying the alien databases. He was Earth's best computer expert, and he had spent every hour since the ultimatum learning about alien technology and history. What he found made him excited and scared at the same time. "Admiral Song," he said over the video call, "I've been studying how the aliens fight. They have better weapons and stronger ships, but there's something weird about them." "What do you mean?" asked Admiral Song Woo-jin. "They're predictable. Really predictable. I've looked at records of 50,000 years of alien battles. They do the same things every time. They fly in the same formations. They use the same tactics. It's like they stopped learning how to fight." "Why would they do that?" "Because they never had to learn. Admiral, for 50,000 years, Every species has either given up immediately or fought a few hopeless battles before giving up. The aliens have never faced anyone who really fought back. Admiral Song Woo-jin thought about this. So they're like bullies who have never met anyone willing to punch them back. Exactly. And there's more. I've been looking at how they conquered other species. They always demand tribute first. If the species says yes, they take the people and work them to death over a few hundred years. If the species says no, they attack with massive force to scare them into giving up. But what if a species doesn't get scared? That's just it, Admiral. No species has ever not gotten scared. We're the first. On Mars, the human colonies were getting ready for war in their own way. Commander Oh Sung-min was in charge of the Mars Defense Force, but his force was only 12 ships and about 200 soldiers. That wasn't enough to fight hundreds of alien ships, but the people of Mars had their own ideas. "Commander," said his communications officer, "we're getting calls from every dome city on Mars. They want to help." "How can civilians help fight a space battle?" "Well, sir, the farmers want to use their atmospheric processors as weapons. They say they can change the air in their domes to poison gas if aliens try to land. The terraforming crews want to use their weather control systems to create massive storms. And the transportation workers want to turn the cargo ships into flying bombs." Commander Oh Sung-min stared at the reports coming in. Every single civilian group on Mars had found a way to fight. Even the children in the schools were making plans to hide and cause trouble for any aliens who tried to take them. "Sir," said his tactical officer, "I don't think the aliens are expecting this." "What do you mean?" "I mean, they probably expect us to have some military resistance and then give up. But they're not expecting every single human to fight back with everything they have." Fleet Admiral Baek So-young was on Earth's biggest warship, the Indomitable. She was getting reports from every human settlement in the solar system. The reports all said the same thing. Humans were ready to fight, but she was also getting reports from her intelligence officers that worried her. "Admiral," said Major Nam Ha-young, "our scouts report that the alien fleet is huge. Over 400 ships, just like they said. Some of them are bigger than anything we've ever built." "What about their weapons?" "More advanced than ours. Stronger shields, faster engines, better energy weapons. In a straight fight, we'll lose badly." Admiral Baek So-young nodded. She had expected this. "Then we don't fight a straight fight." "Ma'am." "Major, I've been studying human military history. Do you know how many times a smaller force has beaten a bigger force?" "Many times, ma'am." "Right. And how do they do it?" Major Nam Ha-young smiled. "They cheat, ma'am. They use surprise, they use the environment, they use psychological warfare, and they refuse to follow the enemy's rules." "Exactly. The aliens expect us to line up our ships and have a nice, polite space battle. Instead, we're going to do things they've never seen before." Dr. Shin Dong-hyuk was on a research station near Saturn, working with a team of engineers to study captured alien technology. They had been working for 20 hours straight trying to understand how alien weapons worked. "I think I've got it," said engineer Kang Mi-young. "Their energy weapons are very powerful, but they have a weakness." "What kind of weakness?" "They're designed to fight other aliens who use similar technology, but our technology is so different from theirs that their weapons aren't optimized for fighting us." Dr. Shin Dong-hyuk looked at the data. "Are you saying our primitive technology is actually better?" "Not better, but different in ways they don't expect. Look, their shields are designed to stop energy weapons and fast projectiles. But what if we use slow projectiles? What if we use kinetic weapons? What if we use things they've never seen before?" All over human space, people were having similar conversations. Scientists were finding weaknesses in alien technology. Engineers were building new weapons from mining equipment and farming tools. Military officers were making plans that no alien had ever seen before. Captain Kim Tae-ho, still near the alien fleet, was watching the enemy ships move into position. They were arranging themselves in perfect formations around every human world. It was beautiful and terrifying at the same time. "Captain," said Communications Officer Choi Min-soo, "we're receiving a message from the alien fleet. Commander Vexatal wants to talk. Put him on screen. Vexatal appeared, looking annoyed. Human captain, your 72 hours are almost over. We detect unusual activity around your worlds. Are you preparing to surrender? No, Captain Kim Tae-ho said. We're preparing to fight. This is illogical. You cannot win. Maybe, but we're going to try anyway. Vexatal looked confused. Why? Why do you choose death over service? Captain Kim Tae-ho thought about how to explain this to an alien who didn't understand humans, because we're not like other species you've conquered. When someone threatens our families, we don't calculate odds. We don't think about logic. We think about protecting the people we love, no matter what it costs. This is primitive thinking, maybe, but it's human thinking. Intelligence officer Seo Ji-hoon was on a secret mission near the edge of the solar system. His job was to study the alien fleet and find any weaknesses he could. What he found was very interesting. Admiral Back, he reported over a secure channel. I've been watching the alien ships. They're very advanced, but they're also very specialized. What do you mean? Each ship has one job. Some ships are for fighting other ships. Some ships are for attacking planets. Some ships are for transporting people. They're not flexible like our ships. So if we can force them to fight in ways they're not designed for... Exactly, Admiral. Their ships are perfect for the kind of battles they've fought for 50,000 years. But they've never fought humans before. As the deadline approached, President Yoon Da-un received one last call from Commander Vexatal. Human leader, Vexatal said, this is your final chance. Surrender now, and we will only take 40% of your population. Continue to resist, and we will take everyone. President Yoon Da-un looked at the reports on her desk. Reports from every human settlement. Reports from soldiers, civilians, miners, farmers, scientists, and children, all saying the same thing. We will fight. Commander Vexatal, she said, let me make something clear to you. Humans don't surrender to bullies. We don't give up our people to aliens who want to enslave them. And we don't back down from fights. Just because we're outnumbered, then you choose extinction. We choose freedom. And Commander, you're about to learn why that's a very dangerous choice for your people. The transmission ended. Across human space, 8 billion people got ready. For the fight of their lives, they didn't know if they could win, but they knew they. President Yoon Da-un sat at the head of the emergency table in the United Nations building. The room was full of world leaders, military commanders, and scientists. Everyone looked worried and scared. 3 weeks had passed since the first contact with aliens, and now everything had changed. The big screen showed a new alien face. This one was different from Ambassador Veltar. It had gray skin, sharp teeth, and cold, yellow eyes. This alien didn't try to look friendly. I am Commander Vexatal of the Keth-Mori Dominion, the alien said. Its voice was hard and mean. I speak for the Galactic Council. Your trial period is over. President Yoon Da-un felt her stomach drop. The trial period was supposed to last 6 months, not 3 weeks. Commander Vexatal, we thought we had more time to learn about the Council. Time? Vexatal laughed, but it wasn't a nice laugh. You have had enough time. We have studied your species. We know what you are capable of. Now you will learn your place in the galaxy. Admiral Song Woo-jin, head of Earth's military, leaned forward. What do you mean by our place? Vexatal's yellow eyes got colder. Every species that joins the Galactic Council must pay their share. Earth will provide 40% of its population as tribute workers. You will also destroy all military ships and weapons. You have 72 hours to begin compliance. The bay room exploded with angry voices. Leaders from every country started shouting at once. President Yoon Da-un had to bang her gavel many times to get everyone quiet. 40% of our population? She said when the room was quiet again. That's over 3 billion people. You're talking about slavery. We prefer the term tribute workers, Vexatal said, like he was talking about the weather. They will be given food and shelter. They will work in mines, factories, and farms on various council worlds. This is how the galaxy works. This is how it has always worked. Dr. Han Subin, Earth's best expert on alien life, had been studying The data that Captain Kim Tae-ho sent back from space. She stood up from her seat. Commander Vextal, we've been looking at the information you shared with us. What happened to the other species that joined the council? The ones who paid tribute before us. Vextal was quiet for a moment. They served the council well. They fulfilled their purpose. That's not what I asked. Where are they now? They completed their service. Dr. Han Soo-bin had studied the alien databases that came with their technology gifts. Hidden in the files were records of hundreds of species that had joined the council over thousands of years. All of them had paid tribute. All of them were gone. You killed them, she said quietly. Every single species that joined the council. You worked them to death. Vextal's face didn't change. Weak species serve strong species. This is the natural order. Your planet will adapt or be removed. Entirely. Admiral Song Woo-jin stood up. His face was red with anger. And what if we refuse? Refuse? Vextal seemed surprised. No species has ever refused. Look at your situation. We have over 400 ships around your worlds. You have 43 small military vessels. Your choice is simple. Give us 40% of your people or we will take 100%. President Yoon Da-eun looked around the room at all the world leaders. Some looked scared. Some looked angry. But all of them looked determined. We need time to discuss this with our people, she said. You have 72 hours, Vextal repeated. When that time is over, we will begin collection. Do not make this harder than it needs to be. The alien transmission ended. The room was very quiet for a long time. Finally, President Yoon Da-eun spoke. Well, everyone knows what they're asking. What do we tell them? We tell them no, said Admiral Song Woo-jin, immediately. I don't care how many ships they have. We don't give up our people to aliens. But Admiral, said the President of Brazil, they have so many ships. How can we fight them? I don't know, Song Woo-jin said. But I know we have to try. Dr. Han Soo-bin was still looking at her tablet. I've been studying their ship movements. They're not just around Earth. They have ships around every human colony. Mars, Europa, Titan, all the asteroid mining stations. They're surrounding everything we've built. How many people are we talking about? Asked President Yoon Da-eun. About 8 billion people total, Dr. Han Soo-bin said. If they want 40%, that's over 3 billion people they want to take away. The room got quiet again. 3 billion people. Mothers, fathers, children, all taken away to work as slaves on alien worlds until they died. There has to be another way, said the Prime Minister of Japan. Maybe we can negotiate. Give them something else instead of people. What could we possibly give them that they don't already have? Asked Admiral Song Woo-jin. Their technology is thousands of years ahead of ours. The only thing they want from us is our people. President Yoon Da-eun's phone started ringing. Then everyone's phones started ringing. Messages were coming in from all over the world. The alien ultimatum had been broadcast on every TV channel, every radio station, and every internet connection on Earth. Everyone knew what was happening. Ma'am, said her assistant, we're getting calls from every world leader, every military base, and every colony. Everyone wants to know what we're going to do. What are our people saying? Asked President Yoon Da-eun. That's the strange part. Ma'am, we expected panic, we expected riots, but that's not what's happening. What do you mean? Her assistant looked confused. People are angry, ma'am. Really angry. But they're not running or hiding, they're getting ready. Admiral Song Woo-jin was getting similar reports from military bases around the world. Ma'am, I'm getting reports from all our military commanders. Our people aren't scared. They're mad. Really mad. Dr. Han Soo-bin was reading news reports on her tablet. Look at this. Factory workers in Detroit are asking how to turn their assembly lines into weapon production. Miners on Mars are asking about turning their drilling equipment into weapons. Farmers in Ukraine are asking how to hide food supplies. It's happening everywhere, said Admiral Song Woo-jin. Our people aren't giving up. They're getting ready to fight. President Yoon Da-eun felt something she hadn't expected. She felt proud. proud of the human race. When aliens came and demanded they give up their children, their parents, their brothers and sisters, humans didn't bow down. They got ready to fight. "Admiral Song Woo-jin," she said, "how long do we have?" 72 hours, ma'am. "And what are our chances if we fight?" Song Woo-jin was quiet for a moment. "Honestly, ma'am, very bad. They have 10 times as many ships as us. Their weapons are more advanced. Their shields are stronger. If we fight them in a straight battle, we'll lose. But ma'am, humans have never been good at straight battles. We're good at fighting dirty. We're good at using everything we have as a weapon. We're good at never giving up." President Yoon Da-yoon stood up. "Then we fight." "Ma'am," said the President of China, "are you sure? 3 billion lives? If we give them 3 billion people now, they'll come back for the other 5 billion later," President Yoon Da-yoon said. "Dr. Han Soo-bin showed us what happens to species that pay tribute. They all die. Every single one." She walked to the window and looked out at New York City. People were walking around normally, but she could see something different in how they moved. They walked faster. They looked more alert. They were getting ready. "Send a message to every human settlement," she said. "Every colony, every space station, every ship. Tell them what the aliens want. Tell them what happened to other species, and then ask them what they want to do." "Ma'am, we already know what they'll say," said Admiral Song Woo-jin. "I know, but I want them to say it themselves." Over the next 24 hours, the answers came back from every human settlement in space. From the ice miners on Europa, to the farmers in the Mars colonies, to the deep space explorers heading to other stars. Every single group gave the same answer. No Captain Kim Tae-ho, still on the Defiance near the alien fleet, received orders to deliver humanity's official response to the Galactic Council. He called Commander Vextal. "Commander, I have Earth's response to your ultimatum." "Good," said Vextal. "We are ready to begin collection operations." "The answer is no." Vextal looked confused. "No? I don't understand. What do you mean, no?" "We don't negotiate with terrorists," Captain Kim Tae-ho said. "We don't pay tribute to bullies, and we don't give up our people to aliens who want to work them to death." For the first time, Vextal looked surprised. "This is impossible. Every species accepts. Every species understands their place. Then you haven't met humans before. You have 43 ships. We have 400. This is not logical." Captain Kim Tae-ho smiled. "Logic has nothing to do with it. Come and take our people if you can. But know this. We will fight you with everything we have. And we have a lot more than 43 ships." The transmission ended. In the silence that followed, Communication Officer Choi Min-soo detected massive activity throughout human space. Ships were moving, weapons were being prepared, and for the first time in 50,000 years, the Galactic Council was about to learn what happened when they tried to bully the wrong species. Captain Kim Tae-ho stood on the bridge of the UES Defiance, watching the stars through the main screen. His hands were steady, but his heart was beating fast. Today was the day humans would meet aliens for the first time. After 200 years of looking at the stars and wondering if anyone else was out there, they finally had their answer. The message had arrived 3 weeks ago. It came from something called the Galactic Council. The aliens said they wanted to welcome Earth into their big family of planets. They seemed friendly and peaceful. They even sent gifts, small pieces of technology that made Earth's best scientists very excited. "Captain," said Dr. Park Ji-woo from her seat at the language station, "I'm getting another transmission from the aliens. They want to talk again." Park Ji-woo was Earth's best expert at learning new languages. She had spent every day since the first message trying to understand how the aliens talked. It was hard work, but she was getting better at it. "Put it on screen," Kim Tae-ho said. The main screen changed from showing stars to showing an alien face. It was strange but not scary. The alien had big eyes and blue skin. It looked kind of like a tall, thin human, but different enough that everyone knew it wasn't from Earth. "Greetings, humans of Earth," the alien said. Its voice was soft and pleasant. "I am Ambassador Veltar of the Alteran people. We are so happy to meet you. Kim Tae-ho stepped forward. Hello, Ambassador Veltar. I am Captain Kim Tae-ho of the Earthship Defiance. We are happy to meet you too. Veltar smiled, or at least it looked like a smile. Your people have done amazing things. You built ships that can travel faster than light. You found a way to talk across the stars. The Galactic Council is very impressed. The captain felt proud. Humans had worked hard to build their first starship. It had taken 50 years of work by the best people on Earth. Now aliens were saying they did a good job. We would like to invite Earth to join the Galactic Council, Veltar continued. There are thousands of planets with people like you. We all work together to keep peace in the galaxy. We share our knowledge and help each other. Dr. Park Ji-woo was writing notes very fast. She was recording every word and trying to understand the deeper meanings. Something about the way the aliens talked seemed a little strange, but she couldn't figure out what it was. Engineer Lee Hyojin was in the engine room looking at the alien gifts. The technology was incredible. It was hundreds of years ahead of anything Earth had built. The aliens had given them new ways to make power, new metals that were stronger than anything on Earth, and computer parts that were tiny, but very powerful. This is amazing, Lee Hyojin said to her assistant. Look at this power core. It's no bigger than my hand, but it makes more energy than our biggest nuclear plant. If we can learn how to make these, we could solve all of Earth's energy problems. Back on the bridge, Ambassador Veltar was explaining more about the Galactic Council. Every new planet goes through a trial period, Veltar said. It's just to make sure everything works well. During this time, you'll learn our ways and we'll learn yours. After that, Earth will be a full member of the Council. Communications Officer Choi Min-soo was at his station, listening to all the signals coming from space. Usually space was quiet except for natural things like stars and planets. But now there were signals everywhere. Ships talking to each other, planets sending messages, and strange data streams he didn't understand. Captain? Choi Min-soo said, quietly. I'm picking up a lot of traffic out there. Way more ships than we expected. Kim Tae-ho nodded but didn't want to seem worried in front of the alien ambassador. How many ships are we talking about? At least 50, sir. Maybe more. They're spread out around our solar system, but they're definitely there. This made Kim Tae-ho think. Why would the aliens need so many ships just to say hello? But maybe that was normal for them. Maybe they always traveled in big groups. Ambassador Veltar seemed to know what he was thinking. Don't worry about our ships, Captain. We always bring protection when we visit new planets. Space can be dangerous, and we want to keep everyone safe. That made sense. The galaxy was a big place, and there were probably pirates or other bad people out there. We understand, Kim Tae-ho said. We brought our best ship too. Veltar's smile got bigger. Yes, we noticed. Your ship is very small, but we're sure it's the best Earth can make right now. Don't worry, you'll have better ships soon enough. Dr. Park Ji-woo looked up from her notes. There was something in the way Veltar said that last part. It sounded nice, but it also sounded like the alien was talking down to them, like a grown-up, talking to a child. The conversation went on for another hour. Veltar told them about different planets in the Council. There were mining worlds, farming worlds, and factory worlds. Each planet had a special job to do for the good of everyone. Earth would get a job too once the Council figured out what humans were best at. What kind of jobs do new planets usually get? Kim Tae-ho asked. Oh, all kinds of things, Veltar said. Some planets are good at growing food. Others have people who are good at working in factories or mines. The Council always finds the perfect job for each planet. After the call ended, the crew of the Defiance had a meeting. Everyone was excited, but some people had questions. Did anyone else think that alien was talking to us like we were children? Asked Dr. Park Ji-woo. A little bit, admitted Kim Tae-ho, but maybe that's just how they talk. Or maybe it's hard to translate their real meaning. Engineer Lee Hyojin joined the meeting by video from the engine room. I've been looking at these gifts they sent us. The technology is amazing, but there's something weird about it. What do you mean? Asked the captain. Well, it's all really advanced, right? But it's also really old. Some of these designs look like they're thousands of years old. It's like they stopped trying to make new things a long time ago. Choi Min-soo had been quiet, but now he spoke up. "Captain, I need to tell you something. I've been listening to their ship communications. I can't understand what they're saying, but I can tell where their ships are going. And they're not just around our solar system. They're moving toward all our colonies. Mars, Europa, the mining stations around Jupiter. It's like they're surrounding all our settlements." The room got quiet. Kim Tae-ho thought about this. Maybe the aliens were just being very careful, or maybe they wanted to see everything humans had built. But it did seem like a lot of ships for a friendly visit. "Let's not jump to conclusions," Kim Tae-ho said finally. "These are the first aliens we've ever met. Maybe this is normal for them. Let's keep watching and learning." But deep down he was starting to wonder if Earth had made a mistake. The aliens seemed friendly, but there were too many strange things happening. The way they talked, the old technology, all those ships moving around human space. Dr. Park Ji-woo went back to studying the alien language. She found more strange things in their messages. Sometimes the aliens used words that meant one thing, but the computer translations made them mean something else. It was like they were hiding something. The next few days were busy. More messages came from different aliens. They all seemed very interested in Earth. They wanted to know how many people lived on each planet, what kind of weapons humans had, and how fast their ships could travel. They said it was all for the membership paperwork. Kim Tae-ho sent reports back to Earth every day. President Yoon Da-eun and the World Council were very excited. They were already making plans for trade with alien worlds and sharing technology. But on the ship, some people were getting worried. The aliens were asking too many questions about things that seemed private, and their ships kept moving around human space like they were studying everything very carefully. Communication Officer Choi Min-soo made a discovery that changed everything. Hidden in the alien messages were coordinates. Not just coordinates for Earth, but for every human colony, every space station, and every ship. The aliens weren't just being friendly. They were mapping everything humans had built. "Captain," Choi Min-soo said urgently, "you need to see this."